Alright, let's talk about a place that truly gets your heart pounding with the thrill of discovery. Imagine stepping out of the dense, humid jungle of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and seeing it. A massive stone pyramid rises up to meet the sky, a monument to a lost civilization that was way ahead of its time. This isn't just any old ruin, this is Chichén Itzá. It was one of the greatest cities of the ancient Maya world, a powerhouse of culture, religion, and power. For centuries, this place was the center of the universe for millions of people, a bustling hub where gods were worshipped and kings ruled. It's a mystery written in stone, and we're here to peel back the layers. The story of Chichén Itzá is like the ultimate adventure. It's a tale filled with brilliant astronomers, fierce warriors, and powerful priests who claim to speak with the gods themselves. This city reached its peak of glory between the 9th and 12th centuries, a time when much of Europe was still in the Dark Ages. The Maya here were charting the stars, building incredible structures with mind-boggling precision, and creating a society that was as complex as it was magnificent. When you walk through its plazas today, you can almost hear the echoes of the past. The chatter of merchants, the chants of ceremonies, and the roar of the crowd at the great ball game. Think about what it took to build this place. We're talking about a city carved out of the limestone bedrock with no metal tools, no wheels for transport, and no beasts of burden to do the heavy lifting. Every single stone was quarried and moved by sheer human effort. The people who lived here weren't just builders, they were visionaries. They designed their city to be a reflection of their beliefs, a giant working calendar that connected their daily lives to the movements of the sun, moon, and stars. It's a testament to human ingenuity and a reminder that there are still so many secrets buried just beneath the surface, waiting for us to find them. So grab your gear, because we're diving in. We're going to explore the grand temples, the mysterious sacrificial wells, and the courts where a sacred, high-stakes game was played. Chichén Itzá is more than just a tourist destination, it's a gateway to understanding a civilization that rose to incredible heights and then vanished, leaving behind these incredible puzzles for us to solve. The jungle kept these secrets for centuries, and now, it's our turn to listen to what they have to say. Every great city has an origin story, and Chichén Itzá's is one for the ages. It started as a smaller Maya settlement around the 6th century, a modest community nestled near two large natural sinkholes, or cenotes, which gave the city its name. At the mouth of the well of the Itzá, these cenotes were the lifeblood of the city, providing a reliable source of fresh water in a region with no surface rivers. But it wasn't just about survival. These wells were seen as sacred passages to the underworld, home to the rain god, Chak. The city's very foundation was built on this deep connection between the practical and the spiritual, a theme we see again and again. Things really started to change around the 9th century. This is where the story gets a fascinating twist. A new group of people arrived, bringing with them new ideas, new gods, and a new style of art and architecture. These were the Toltecs, a warrior culture from central Mexico. Instead of conflict, something incredible happened. The two cultures merged. Chichén Itzá became a melting pot of Maya and Toltec traditions. You can see this blend everywhere you look. The classic intricate Maya design started to mix with the more militaristic and imposing Toltec motifs like fierce jaguars, eagles, and images of feathered serpents. This fusion created a unique identity for the city. This cultural blend supercharged Chichén Itzá's growth. The city transformed into a major political and economic capital, controlling trade routes that stretched across the Yucatan and even into other parts of Mesoamerica. Goods like salt, obsidian, jade, and gold flowed through its markets. This wasn't just a quiet religious center anymore. It was a bustling international hub ruled by a powerful elite. The introduction of the feathered serpent god, known to the Maya as Kukulkán, the same deity the Toltecs worshipped as Quetzalcoatl, became central to the city's identity. This powerful god symbolized the union of the two peoples and the city's newfound might. The result was a city unlike any other in the Maya world. Its architecture became grander, its plazas wider, and its influence stronger. The rulers of Chichén Itzá commanded immense power, not just through military strength but also through their control of religion and trade. They built massive temple complexes and palaces that were designed to awe and intimidate visitors and residents alike. The city became a beacon of innovation, drawing people from all over the region. This period of greatness, from about 900 to 1200 AD, was Chichén Itzá's golden age, a time when it stood as the undisputed master of the Yucatan. Now let's talk about the main event, the superstar of Chichén Itzá, the Great Pyramid known as El Castillo, or the Temple of Kukulkán. This isn't just a big pile of rocks, it's a masterpiece of engineering and astronomy. This step pyramid is essentially a massive stone calendar that represents the Maya view of the cosmos. It stands on a square base and has 4 staircases, one on each side, leading up to a temple at the very top. The design is no accident. Every single detail is packed with meaning, connecting the structure to the cycles of the sun and the sacred Maya calendar. It was built to be the city's spiritual and physical center. Here's where it gets really mind-blowing. Each of the 4 stairways has 91 steps. If you multiply that by 4, you get 364. Add the single step of the temple platform at the top, and what do you get? 365, the exact number of days in a solar year. The pyramid is also divided into 9 levels on each side, separated by the staircase, creating 18 distinct terraces. This represents the 18 months of the Maya Hab calendar. The architects who designed this weren't just builders, they were brilliant mathematicians and astronomers who encoded their knowledge of the universe directly into this incredible structure for everyone to see. But the real magic happens twice a year, during the spring and fall equinoxes. As the sun begins to set on these days, a shadow plays across the northern staircase. It forms a series of triangles of light and shadow that connect the top temple with the giant carved serpent heads at the bottom of the stairs. As the sun sinks lower, the shadow slithers down the pyramid, creating the illusion of a massive serpent descending from the heavens to the earth. This is Kukulkán, the feathered serpent god, making his divine appearance. Imagine the scene. Thousands of people gathered in the plaza watching their god come to life in stone and shadow. This spectacular event wasn't just for show. It was a powerful statement of the ruler's connection to the gods and their mastery over the cosmos. It marked the changing of the seasons, signaling the time for planting or harvesting. El Castillo served as a clock, a calendar, and a sacred mountain all in one. It was the place where the human world met the divine world, the focal point of the city's religious life. It's a perfect example of how the Maya wove their scientific understanding and their spiritual beliefs together into something truly awe-inspiring, a wonder that continues to captivate us today. Just a short walk from the grandeur of El Castillo lies another site that tells a very different but equally powerful story about life in Chichén Itzá. This is the Great Ball Court. And when I say great, I mean it. This is the largest and best preserved ball court in all of ancient Mesoamerica. It's absolutely massive, longer than a modern football field, with 2 towering parallel walls running along its sides. Standing in the middle of it, you can't help but feel small. This wasn't just a place for sport, it was a sacred arena where a ritual game with life or death consequences was played out before the gods. The game itself, known as Paktapak, was played with a solid rubber ball that could weigh up to 9 pounds. The goal was to hit the ball with your hips, thighs, or sometimes your forearms, and get it through one of the stone hoops mounted high up on the walls. It sounds almost impossible, especially when you see how small the hoops are and how high they're placed. The acoustics of the court are also incredible. A whisper at one end can be heard clearly at the other, over 500 feet away. This meant every shout, every cheer, and every impact of the ball would have echoed dramatically through the space, adding to the intensity of the ritual. The stone reliefs carved into the walls of the ball court give us a chilling clue about the game's ultimate purpose. They depict scenes from the game, with players in full gear. But they also show a gruesome final act, a player being decapitated, with serpents and vines emerging from his neck, symbolizing new life and fertility. Historians still debate whether it was the captain of the winning or losing team who was sacrificed. Either way, this wasn't just a game. It was a deeply religious ceremony, a reenactment of the cosmic struggles of the Maya gods, and the ultimate sacrifice was seen as a great honor, ensuring the continued prosperity of the city. Nearby stands another imposing structure, the Temple of the Warriors. This large stepped pyramid is flanked by a forest of carved stone columns, known as the Group of the Thousand Columns. Each column was once brightly painted and depicts a fierce Toltec warrior in full battle dress. This place was a massive assembly hall, likely used for military councils and important ceremonies for the city's warrior elite. The temple at the top features a distinctive statue of a reclining figure known as a Chak Mul, holding a bowl on its stomach. This bowl was likely used for offerings to the gods, perhaps even the hearts of sacrificial victims. It's a stark reminder of the warrior culture that dominated Chichén Itzá. The Maya were obsessed with time and the cosmos, and nowhere is that more evident than at a peculiar round building known as El Caracol, or the snail. It gets its name from the spiral staircase winding up inside its core. Unlike the sharp, straight lines of the pyramids, this building is domed and circular, which makes it stand out immediately. For a long time its purpose was a mystery, but archaeologists now believe it was a sophisticated astronomical observatory. This was the Maya version of a high-tech research facility designed for one purpose: to watch the sky with incredible precision. The building's design is a marvel of celestial alignment. The windows and doorways in the upper chamber are not placed randomly. They line up perfectly with key astronomical events. Some windows align with the positions of Venus in the sky, a planet incredibly important to the Maya and associated with war and destiny. Other alignments mark the sunsets on the equinoxes and solstices. From this building, Maya priests could track the movements of stars and planets, predict eclipses, and maintain the accuracy of their complex calendars. This knowledge was power, allowing them to plan ceremonies and agricultural cycles with divine authority. While El Caracol looked to the heavens, another key site at Chichén Itzá looked deep into the earth. This is the Sacred Cenote, a massive, almost perfectly circular sinkhole filled with dark, still water. This wasn't the cenote used for daily water supply, this was a place of pure ritual. The Maya believed this cenote was a direct portal to the underworld, Xibalba, and the home of the powerful rain god Chak. To appease this god and ensure rain for their crops, the people made precious offerings here. They threw valuable objects into its depths: gold, jade, pottery, and weapons. But the offerings weren't just objects. When this cenote was dredged in the early 20th century, archaeologists found something more. They discovered the skeletal remains of men, women, and children. This confirmed the chilling legends that people were sacrificed here, sent as messengers to the gods in the watery underworld. It was the ultimate offering in times of great crisis like severe drought or famine. Standing at the edge of this cenote today, looking down into its mysterious water, you can feel the weight of its history. It's a somber, powerful place that reveals the darker, more desperate side of the city's religious devotion. For centuries, Chichén Itzá was the undisputed king of the Yucatan. It was a sprawling, powerful city that seemed destined to last forever. But around the year 1200 AD, something started to go wrong. The grand construction projects stopped, the population began to dwindle. The once bustling plazas and temples slowly fell silent. The story of Chichén Itzá's decline is one of the great unsolved mysteries of the ancient world. There was no single catastrophic event that we can point to. Instead, it seems the city slowly faded, like a magnificent sunset turning to twilight and then to darkness. So what happened? The truth is, nobody knows for sure, but there are plenty of compelling theories. One major possibility is internal strife and warfare. The warrior carvings all over the city tell us this was a society built on military might, and power struggles were likely common. It's possible that the ruling elite lost control, or that rival city-states rose up to challenge Chichén Itzá's dominance. Another strong contender is environmental strain. Supporting a massive population in the difficult Yucatan environment would have been a constant challenge. A series of prolonged droughts, which we know happened in the region, could have been devastating. If the rains failed, the crops would wither and the all-powerful rain god Chak would seem to have abandoned them. This could have led to famine, disease, and a complete loss of faith in the ruling priests and kings whose power was based on their ability to mediate with the gods. People may have simply abandoned the city in search of more fertile and stable lands. By the time the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 16th century, Chichén Itzá was largely abandoned, a ghost of its former self. While it was never completely lost to the local Maya people, who continued to hold ceremonies there, its time as a great capital was long over. The jungle began its slow work of reclaiming the stone temples and pyramids, wrapping them in a green shroud. For hundreds of years the city slept, its incredible story waiting patiently beneath the vines and trees. The reasons for its collapse are likely a combination of all these factors: war, drought, and political shifts. A perfect storm that brought an end to a golden age. The story of Chichén Itzá doesn't end with its decline. After centuries of slumber, the city was reborn in the modern imagination. In the 19th and 20th centuries, explorers and archaeologists like John Lloyd Stevens and Sylvanus Morley hacked their way through the jungle and brought the city's wonders to the world's attention. They began the long, painstaking process of clearing the vegetation and excavating the magnificent buildings. Suddenly, the world was captivated by this lost Maya metropolis. The careful work of restoration has allowed us to see the city not as a crumbling ruin, but as the architectural masterpiece it once was. Today, Chichén Itzá is more than just an archaeological site, it's a global icon. In 1988 it was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a recognition of its outstanding universal value to all of humanity. This status helps protect the site for future generations, ensuring that its story can continue to be told. Then, in 2007, millions of people around the world voted to name Chichén Itzá as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. This cemented its place in the public consciousness as one of the most incredible and important historical sites on the planet, alongside giants like the Roman Colosseum and the Great Wall of China. This global recognition has turned Chichén Itzá into one of Mexico's most visited tourist destinations. Every year, millions of people walk the same paths the ancient Maya did. They gaze up at El Castillo, marvel at the acoustics of the ball court, and ponder the mysteries of the Sacred Cenote. For the modern Maya people who still live in the region, the site remains a powerful symbol of their heritage and a source of immense pride. It's a living link to their ancestors, a testament to their ingenuity, their knowledge of the cosmos, and their enduring culture. So why does Chichén Itzá still hold such a powerful grip on our imagination? Because it's a place that fires up our sense of wonder. It reminds us that there are still profound mysteries left to explore, and that ancient civilizations possessed a wisdom that we are only just beginning to understand. It's a story of human ambition, scientific brilliance, spiritual devotion, and eventual collapse. Chichén Itzá is not just a relic of the past, it's a timeless lesson written in stone, a true wonder of the world that continues to reveal its secrets, one visitor at a time. The expedition never truly ends here.